Alright, close enough. It's close enough. I don't care. This should be on this side. This should be further over here. Now we're ready to have a little bit of coffee. I feel great. Hello, welcome to the Old God's Meadery. We are live. Yep, we're live. Confirmed. It's working. A little crooked. I'm honestly not too worried about it right now. Woo-wee. Hello, hello, hello. Alright. Yeah, everything's up and working. Hello, welcome to the Old God's Meadery, where I make mead every single week. Every single Saturday, I show you a brand new batch. I don't miss Saturdays, and I don't replicate recipes. Batch 145 comes out this Saturday, just in 2 days. I am incredibly excited about it. It is inspired by the Norse god Thor, and I'm really happy with it. I can't wait to show you. It's going to be a lot of fun. Last night I went live, bottling some mead live. That was a lot of fun too. If you missed that, shame on you. Come back every single Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I go live to show you a different step of the mead making process. So if you want to know how to make your own alcohol at home, I'm your guy. This is the place to be. I can show you exactly how I do it. And then you can tweak it, make it better, make it your own, and have a lot of fun. Join our amazing community in this ancient hobby of mead making. Welcome to the Old God's Meadery. If you don't know, mead is the oldest alcoholic beverage in the world, independently discovered by many different countries and cultures. The oldest evidence is actually from Africa, over 20,000 years ago. Before that, we had some evidence in China about 10,000 years ago, some evidence in Central America, and of course Northern Europe, where the Vikings traded it, made it super famous. But what that means is, regardless of who you are or where you're from anywhere around the world, your ancestors drank mead. And I think that's really awesome. Something we have in common. World needs more things in common. That's something we have in common. It is not strong enough to disinfect surfaces. It is somewhere usually around the range between 10 and 15% alcohol. You'd want to use something distilled like a vodka. Much higher ABV. But I wouldn't waste that. I would just get rubbing alcohol for that. You are wasting a lot of money. Hello, welcome to the Old God's Meadery. Don't forget to like a million times, share, comment, tell me where you're from. You know the routine. If you want to make your own alcohol at home, I'm your guy. Nobody on the internet makes more mead recipes than I do. I come out with a brand new one every single Saturday. Batch 145 comes out this Saturday. I have never, ever replicated a recipe. Every single one is an experiment, and it's brand new to me. All of my reactions are real in the videos that I put out on Saturdays. I show you exactly how I make it, every step of the process that I touch the mead. At the end, I taste it, and I tell you what I think. I tell you what I think of the look, the taste, and the smell. And those are real reactions. Sometimes they're not so great. Sometimes they epically fail. Sometimes they're phenomenal and surprise me. So stay tuned this coming Saturday. Like I said, batch 145. And it is inspired by the Norse god Thor. Right now, all my meats come in one of three categories. I'm either making holiday meads, which I just came out with my Thanksgiving one last week. This is my cranberry mead. One of the easiest meads I've ever made. You can replicate this so incredibly easily. So go back and watch that video. It's fantastic. A little tart. It's a little tart. It's fantastic. Go back and watch that. This coming Saturday is from the Norse gods and goddesses theme. So this one specifically inspired by Thor. And then I also do pop culture batches, anything that's inspired from video games, TV shows, movies, books, whatever it is. I just did a Captain Picard mead. Well, I'm really proud of this one too. Captain Picard from Star Trek. Mostly from Star Trek, The Next Generation, but also, across many movies and other shows, crisscross. This is my Earl Grey Grape. It's a mead, wine, tea hybrid. And I'm really proud of it. It came out fantastic. Also, really, I know that sounds complicated. Incredibly easy to do. I showed you exactly how to do it in the video. So give me a follow so you can make your own alcohol at home. You need less than $50 worth of equipment. I don't sell it to you. I don't sell anything to you. You have to buy that yourself. But the equipment is reusable and you're in the hobby permanently after that. You need a 2-gallon fermenting bucket if you want to do it the way I do it, a 1-gallon glass carboy, a mini hand pump siphon, and then 2 airlocks. You're also going to need some kind of cap for that carboy, but that's really cheap. Less than $50. There's some kits out there on Amazon right now you could get for that price. If you spend any more than that, don't. Shoot me a direct message. I will show you what stuff you need. That way you're not wasting money. If they're selling more than that, you're getting stuff you don't need, especially as a beginner. And they're trying to rip you off. Don't do it. And then the biggest expense after that for this entire hobby is just the honey itself. Honey is pretty expensive, so you have to save up a little money for that. I use 3 pounds per gallon that I use. Ever done apple cider? Yes. Mead, there's lots of different types of meads. Anything apple related is usually considered a cider mead, and they're fantastic. I've tried many different recipes. My favorite, and this is almost identical to my cranberry I just did, just use apple juice. Get apple juice, get a gallon of apple juice from the store. Make sure it has nothing else in it. Apple juice, sometimes there's some citric acid like from lemons, that's fine. As long as it's just a little bit. Make sure there's no like corn syrup or anything crazy sugar added into it because that will dilute your taste. Just apple juice, just 1 gallon apple juice. If you literally put that in a bucket with some yeast, I use a little bit of yeast nutrient just to make the environment happy. In a few weeks, you will have fermented apple juice. And then you can rack it and let it clarify. It becomes super clear. It'll look just like one of these beautiful wines in front of me. It's fantastic. You can't beat it. Yes, there's a bunch of mead recipes out there with juniper. I've seen some people use pine. I've never used either of those myself, but they're incredibly popular. The reason why I think you don't see a lot of just like common meads, they're harder to get. They're harder to get. I did make like an elderberry mead, but I had to order those, and they were dehydrated, so I had to rehydrate them. You can grow that stuff here, but you can't purchase it in most places. Hello, welcome to the Old Gods Meader. If you're just jumping in, we're chit-chatting about mead. I was live last night bottling some blueberry mint mead. I'm going to be reposting that portion of the video shortly this morning. So come back every single Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm showing you a different step of the mead making process. Last night was a lot of fun. It was blueberry mint mead. It was fantastic. Hello, hello, hello. Blueberry mint, yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, if you have them in your yard, so I have they're called wine berries, and they're incredibly close. They're a little bit more brittle, but they're really close to like a raspberry. I have those growing wild all over. I also have some natural raspberries growing close to me. And yeah, I pick them and use them. They're thorn bushes. You got to be careful. If you have wine berries, you got to be careful. They're thorned, but it's worth it. The pain's worth it. Wear some gloves. So here's what I can tell you about the health side of mead. There's been, the studies for years and years and years that say like a glass of wine is healthy per day. You probably don't want to over exaggerate anything in your life. You don't want to eat too many French fries. Are a few French fries going to hurt you? Probably not. Is some mead going to hurt you? Probably not. Here's what I can tell you about making your own, though. I know exactly what into the every single batch. Every single batch has like real ingredients. There's no additives. There's no chemicals. I would argue that making your own mead, especially with all of the actual health benefits from the honey itself, is one of the healthiest alcohols you can consume. That would be my argument. I mean, it feels better, like when you taste something and you know that you like either grew that or picked it, and or it just tastes better, right? It tastes better. Hello. A sorcerer? I mean, some people say so. I can turn water into alcohol. Just not wine. I would argue, yeah, it's good for you. I'm not a doctor though. Don't like sue me or anything, because you become an alcoholic. You're like, the mead dummy told me it was good. Don't do it. So a lot of what I do is actually like wine hybrids. The actual definition of mead itself, I call everything I do mead because that's the hobby I love and the community I'm in. The definition, if you were going to go to like Facebook, like where some of the community is very toxic and judgy, 51% more sugar sourced from the honey or more. So the yeast has to have a sugar source for it to ferment, and if 51% of that source has to be honey or more, or it's not considered a mead. So if you did 50% honey and 50% strawberries, for instance, it would actually be, by definition, considered a wine, not a mead. However, I don't care what they say on Facebook. It's toxic. So like the apple juice one that I just named, a lot of that sugar came from the actual apple juice itself for the fermentation process. If you were to take that to like some kind of snob somewhere and have them like diagnose it, it would probably be considered a wine. But I don't care. I call it mead. I even put mead on the label. Because what are they going to do? A magician Viking spilled coffee on my notebook. It's okay. It just went through a few pages. If you don't know what I do, I make mead every single week. Brand new batch every single Saturday. This coming Saturday is batch 145. I have never missed a Saturday since I started doing this, and I have never replicated a recipe. Every single one is brand new. Good morning. Good to see you. Mead nerd in the house. You missed last night. Last night we had a lot of fun. I bottled the blueberry mint mead. I think it's batch like 17 or so from the live meads. It was a lot of fun. I'll repost that video for everybody that missed it here shortly this morning. I got to edit it down. The whole like live is like an hour and a half ish. Scott, hello. I'm gonna cut out like that. I think it's like 8 or 10 minute portion where I'm actually doing the bottling and kind of explaining stuff. I'm gonna cut that portion down and repost it here in a little while. I did manage to successfully download it, which is usually the problem I have, but it's done. If you're on the YouTube side, the thing already auto reposted, I believe. Hello, hello. I mean, I would say, like, my history of mead making, the Viking, like, culture or age kind of interested me in initially, but mead has been independently discovered by many different places. Many different peoples. So, hello, Scott. We missed you last night. We talked about you a lot, though. In a good way. In a good way. Like we missed you. Maybe the pizza mead came up again. I don't know. Viking blood. This one. Is that the one you're talking about? This is made from a company called Dankst. It is out of Denmark. They use recipes from the 1700s. It's one of the most common meads out there. If you can't find it, I bet you it's more because of your local stores. It's still widely available where I am, at least. I see it all the time. It's a little bit more expensive. They use recipes from the 1700s. This Viking blood one is hibiscus and ginger. Really good meads. They're not clarified, though. If you pour this out, it's cloudy. But most popular. They all come in these amazing ceramic bottles. Has the Nordic runes across the top. They're a lot of fun. A little expensive, but you get a really cool bottle at the end of it. Made out of Pennsylvania. I don't know that one then. There's meaderies popping up all over. Pre-COVID, meaderies were expanding by about 60% year over year here in the United States. So, I mean, you could put anything in it. Mushrooms. Never tried it. I don't see why you couldn't do it. Maybe we'll write that down. Maybe we'll do that. Hello. Yeah, because Michigan's stupid. We actually, it's not a snow. It's more like we were expecting a minimal amount of snow overnight, and now like the corners of the grass are kind of covered, but no significant anything. But I hate it. I hate it. I've been outside all week. It's been in the low 40s, and I hate it. Tasted like grape juice. I mean, it sounds awesome. Like wines? I mean, I typically like a lot of wines. I actually have a wine review I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to post it up probably about 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is from one of my favorite places. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but one of my favorite flavors from one of my favorite places. So that video will come up at about 7 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow, I have a couple videos queued about the Norse god Thor, just to kind of show you where my train of thought was, my inspiration. It's actually just to either give you hints or throw you completely off of guessing what kind of flavor it is. So stay tuned. I think I did a good job this time, throwing you way off. But we'll see. Make sure and comment on those videos tomorrow as soon as you see them. And tell me what you think the flavor may be for Saturday's Thor-inspired mead. Let's see here. Let me educate myself real quick. You know what? I can't say I've ever had it. I'm looking at it now. It's an American brand. Oh, this one's an American brand. Jepson's. Wormwood. Anise. Introduced in Chicago. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had that, to be honest with you. Sweeter alcohol. So there's a actual method called back sweetening, which is very common. I don't do it in my videos. My main goal here is to show the simplicity of mead making. I want people to jump into this amazing community and ancient hobby. We have a lot of fun together, and we're doing a lot to try to grow the community as big as possible. So I make mead in a very simplistic fashion. Everything I do goes in what we call the primary, which is the very beginning. And then I transfer it and let everything age, and then bottle it, and that's what you see in front of you. Back sweetening is the process where you actually ferment everything that you want. When you transfer it, you actually add in another sugar source. Usually the yeast is either completely done or you've left the dead yeast in the initial primary. And the theory is you will re-sweeten things in that secondary. So if you want to make your own stuff and you want it sweeter, back sweeten it. So put stuff, sometimes you can even just use a little bit more honey in the secondary, and it'll make it sweeter. And then what people don't talk a lot about is the actual yeast strain you use is incredibly important for the flavor of your outcome. I love dry stuff, so I use a drier yeast most of the time. It's called EC1118, which is considered a champagne yeast. D47 is like kind of right in the middle. That would be the one I suggest. It usually produces a semi-sweet taste. But what that means is it has a little bit lower alcohol tolerance. So the yeast will reproduce and eat sugars, and it produces two things. It produces carbon dioxide, which leaks out the airlock, and it produces alcohol, which stays in your solution. And then it stops when one of two things happens. One, if it runs out of the sugar source, like if it eats all the sugars, it cannot reproduce anymore and therefore stops. Or in the more likely scenario, it hits its alcohol tolerance. So once the actual solution becomes so toxic alcohol-wise, the yeast can no longer reproduce and eat sugars, and it just stops and dies. So if you have a yeast strain that has a lower alcohol tolerance, it's going to leave more sugars in your solution. What's up, Saber? Hello. How long have I been doing this? I started in 2016. 2016 is where I started. I got a gift card to a local brewery store because I kept talking about mead a lot, and my buddies hooked me up. I went in there and asked for some very simplistic starter kind of pieces of equipment, and I still own them today. Hello. It is morning, yeah. You're here. You're here. I'm here. It's morning. I don't know. I have a curtain on the window. It might be morning. Who knows with these time changes anymore? Who knows? It is December 5th. We're 20 days away from Christmas. A little bit less than that from Yule. And a little bit more than that from New Year's. So we got lots of great stuff in the pipeline. You can always add in sweetness. I even made a really awesome, I called it my Maryland Mule Mead, and it was based off a Maryland cocktail. So it was like a standard traditional mead. I fermented it with limes and ginger, and then I added a little bit of whiskey in the bottling process, so it kind of tasted like a Maryland Mule. I also made a little cocktail out of it. I did 50% of that mead and 50% ginger ale, and it was fantastic. Fantastic. So, the sky's the limit. You could add in a little bit of apple juice or more honey or do whatever you want to get it to the flavor you want. Once you find a recipe you like, though, you can replicate it a million times. Hello, hello, hello. I appreciate you. Thank you. Viking blood mead. So I have, if you're talking about like the famous Viking blood, I have it here now. This is hibiscus and ginger. I've made meads of both of those styles. Very different outcome. Theirs is not clarified. If you pour this out, it's cloudy. If you like research, like if you Google Viking blood mead, one of the big common ones you will see recipe-wise is a blood orange mead, and I've made that a few different ways as well. If you don't know what blood oranges are, I didn't until I got into the mead community. They're really awesome, and you can buy them in your local grocery store, but very limited time. I think it's early spring. I do not sell at all. I am not licensed to sell, but I do the next best thing. I show you exactly how I make every single batch that I do, and every single recipe is absolutely free. Every single Saturday I put out a brand new batch, and the recipe is in the description. It's free. All you have to do is copy and paste it. Or you can jump in my link tree up in my profile. I have a newsletter that I just started about a month ago, and I send that every Sunday morning. It's absolutely free. All I need is your email. Submit your email, and I will shoot you my newsletter. It has the recipe from that previous week in it, a little bit of recap of things you may have missed, and then a little tease of what's coming the following week. I also love blood oranges. They're fun. I like to eat them. I like to eat them and then make meat out of them. Oh, you're in the right place. Make sure and join our Discord. There's also a link for that up in my link tree. And then Scott, who's here in the comments, is the creator and monitor, the god, if you will, of the Discord. It's a safe place to go of mead makers of every skill level. You can go share your ideas, ask questions. There's a yeast chart over there for some of the stuff I was just mentioning. A commercial channel where you can go and shop for meaderies that we've heard about all over the country. They can get it shipped straight to your house. It's a lot of fun. Hello, hello. Saber's the mascot. It should be an amazing day, though. Cool. I actually just wrapped up some of my stuff for the Thor mead before I started this live this morning, so it's already set to go. I have to edit a couple more things, and then it's ready to go. But you're not going to be disappointed. So come back Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hello. And then next Wednesday, I'll be live again, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, showing you a different step of the mead making process, live. I'll be back Sunday morning as well, having some more coffee, talking to you about the Saturday Thor mead. Very excited about it. I want to tell you, and I can't. I got to keep it secret. I will tell you, the Thor mead comes out this Saturday, and then we've got 3 weeks in a row of my holiday meads. So meads based off of holidays. Not this Saturday, like in 2 days. The following one, you'll see your Yule mead. I'm very excited about that too. A mead inspired by the amazing holiday Yule, where most of your Christmas traditions were stolen from. Just saying. The week after that, I'll show you my Christmas mead. That's also going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to show you that flavor. And then the week after that, we're going to have a lot of fun. I'll show you my New Year's mead as we party on and get ready for 2025. Hello. Welcome to the Old God's Meadery. And then we're kicking off a new year. The week after that one is another pop culture batch that I'm really excited for. So stay tuned. Lots and lots of meads in the pipeline. And then, my schedule's going to alter a little bit next year. Not my schedule. My schedule will be the same. The themes are going to alter a little bit about April next year. And I can't wait. I can't wait to reveal all that stuff. It's tons of teasers. I mentioned it a little bit on last night's live because I had a little whiskey with me. But let's just say I have a batch of mead planned out. A lot of them are in progress already, but all of them are written down and planned out all the way through January 2026 so far. And I do a little bit of work on that list every single week. So just to try to stay ahead of the curve. But yeah, there's some really exciting stuff in the pipeline. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, welcome to the Old God's Meadery. It will be a lot of fun. The good news is about making a new batch every week. When I'm looking at a list or I'm mentioning it like this, I get really excited and I want to give spoilers away and tell you about some of the stuff I have in the pipeline. But I have something new every week, so I get distracted. I have the Thor mead is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to show you this Saturday. But there's dozens getting ready. 1 per week, so 50 some planned out already. So look for that first thing Saturday morning, and every Saturday morning I'll post it up. And then, like I said, every Wednesday come back here, right here, live, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll show you a different step of the mead making process live. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun year, I think. I have a good feeling about this coming year. Nobody on the internet makes more mead recipes than I do. Nobody. Just saying. Stop texting and driving. That's dangerous, especially if it's snowy. Yeah, I got coffee all over that notebook. It's too late now. Too late now. Don't cry over spilled coffee. Hello. Welcome to the Old God's Meadery. Let me know where you're from if you're just jumping in. You haven't missed much. We're just chit-chatting about mead. I was live last night bottling some blueberry mint mead. It was a lot of fun. My favorite off-the-shelf mead of all time. You can, if you go to the link tree in my profile and to Crazy's MEAD Chat over there in the Discord, Scott has a commercial channel over there, and this one's in it. This is from a place called Linganore Wine Cellars here in Maryland. They're a winery. They make tons of great wines. If you like wines, they make a lot of great wines. So I encourage you to try a lot of their stuff. This is their only mead they make. It's just mead, previously called medieval mead. They changed the labels and got a little bit fancier. That's why it looks nice now. This thing is $14. $15. You can get it shipped straight to your house. They ship across the United States. LinganoreWineCellars.com. I'm not affiliated. I'm just a big fan. This is a very standard tradition, sweet to semi-sweet mead. It's just a honey mead. It's fantastic, and you cannot go wrong with the price. You grew up near Linganore? It's amazing place. It's an amazing area. It's far enough out that like life goes a little bit slower, but it's still close enough that you can go to the cities anytime you want. Hello. Hello, Valley. Yeah, if you can find it easily, it's great. Stay tuned. I've got a couple Linganore reviews I'm going to do. With cold brew, yeah, Scott actually made a cold brew too. My favorite coffee mead I've ever made was with coffee syrup, which I didn't know anything about until I was doing my 13 Colony series. I did one inspired by Rhode Island. And Rhode Island's state drink is called coffee milk. And it's exactly what it sounds like. So, you drink chocolate milk, you pour like Hershey syrup in milk and you stir it up. They have a syrup that's coffee flavored. They pour it in milk and stir it up. It's coffee milk. I used that syrup. I bought some. I had it shipped to me from Rhode Island and made a mead out of it. And it was the best coffee flavored mead I've ever made. I've done grinds. I've done beans. I've done the poop coffee from the civet thing in South America. I got to redo that one day. I've tried lots of different coffee meads. I've never done cold brew, but Scott has, and he told me a lot about it. And apparently that's another great way to do it. I don't have a recipe book out because I don't charge my recipes. Every single one is absolutely free. They're always in the description of the videos that I put out every Saturday. Or you can sign up for my free newsletter up in my profile in the link tree. The very top thing, just submit your email. And every Sunday I send out my free newsletter. And it has that previous week's recipe in it. So, I don't sell my recipes. They're absolutely free for you to take, to alter, to replicate, to improve. Whatever you want to do with them, they're yours. I would suggest you don't buy mead recipes from anybody either. I'm not saying that like there's some discomfort in the community, but the community that I'm a part of loves to share ideas, loves to encourage, loves to see other people's like awesome creations. And it helps inspire me daily to see other people's stuff. So every recipe I'm ever going to do is going to be absolutely free for you. All you got to do is either sign up for my newsletter or just copy and paste it from the actual description of the videos on Saturdays. Hello, welcome to the Old God's Meadery. If you don't know what mead is, it's the oldest alcoholic beverage in the world. Older than beer, older than wine, independently discovered by many different countries and cultures. The oldest evidence is from Africa over 20,000 years ago. There's evidence in ancient China as well, about 10,000 years old. Evidence in ancient Central America, and of course Northern Europe, where the Vikings traded it, made it super famous. But what that means is regardless of who you are or where you're from anywhere on the planet, your ancestors drank mead. Somewhere down your lineage, somebody in your family drank mead. And I think that's awesome. It's something we have in common and something that we can talk about at awkward dates if we ever go on one. But I won't because I'm married. Hello, welcome to the Old God's Meadery. I make mead every single week, every single Saturday, a brand new batch. I have never missed a Saturday, and I have never replicated a recipe. Every single one is brand new to me and an experiment to myself. Batch 145 comes out this coming Saturday. Nobody on the internet has made more mead recipes than I have, and I am not stopping. Every single Saturday you'll see another brand new batch. This coming Saturday is inspired by the Norse god Thor. I can't wait to show you. I'm very excited about it. I'm very happy with the final product. I cannot wait to show you. And again, another one that's easy to do. Every single one that I make, I try to make in the most simplistic fashion as possible so you can replicate this incredibly easy, even on a beginner level at home. I don't know. That's the first I heard of that. Sometimes I ask for, inspirations. Sometimes, like my pop culture batches are always chosen from the pop culture pin post I have on the TikTok side. Who knows, Scott? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows if you're talking about like March 1st or not? March 1st. Who knows? Yep. March 1st. It might be related to your comment. I don't know. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I love learning stuff. That's what really got me passionate about this hobby. And that's pretty cool. I want to look deeper into that. I love it. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know where you're from if you're just jumping in. Welcome to the Old God's Meadery. I'm very, very bitter cold Maryland. It is actually just above freezing now, finally, on a Thursday morning, December 5th. At least a couple more months of this and worse, and then we'll get back to me wearing my Daisy Dukes. Don't worry, I've never done that on camera. But I like summer. Alabama, it's probably warmer there. Probably much warmer there. From LA, you are up way too early. Way too early. T-shirt weather here. Oh. When all the kiddos are grown up and out, I want to move south. I want to move south. Yeah, Ohio's also too chilly. Also too chilly. I've been through Ohio a couple times. I don't think I've ever stopped like anywhere significant. But it's too far north. It's too far north. Yeah, probably never went to sleep. In Charlotte. Charlotte I could probably do. It's probably a little bit warmer there, right? A little bit warmer. I do love me some Carolinas. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Old God's Meadery. Last night we bottled some blueberry mint mead. I'm incredibly happy with it. I'm going to repost that portion of the video here in a little while so you can see exactly how I did it. It's just bottling, so it's relatively easy, but so you can kind of get a scope on what you will be partaking in when you join this amazing hobby and community. I don't want to live there. Great place to visit in the summer, maybe. I'm actually originally from Missouri. I was born in Kansas City. And I know Ohio's probably very similar. The weather extremes are worse there than they are here on the East Coast. So they have hotter summers and colder winters. And I know they've already experienced some snow. I have some family still there. And they're expecting it to be, just really cold for the foreseeable future. So I'm sure Ohio's probably very close to that, even a little bit colder, actually. I try not to complain too much because, like I said, the weather's been relatively mild the past few years here in Maryland. It does get cold, but when I say cold, hovering around freezing. Usually we have a few days a year where it gets like stupid like negatives, but like not it's not common and it's not usually consistent when it does happen. That does happen in other areas like Ohio, so try not to complain too much. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, thank you. I don't like it. New York. I was just in New York this past weekend. Took like a just a last minute planned trip up to Manhattan to visit. You might be like I'm joking, but this is real. I went to a slime museum and an ice cream museum in like mid Manhattan. I loved it. I loved it. The ice cream museum is like a must do if you need something to do in Manhattan. I mean, you can find endless stuff to do there, but ice cream museum, put it on your list. It was a lot of fun. It's very picturesque. So like, take a camera, get ready to like take a million different selfies. You'll have a lot of fun though. How long can it sit after it's racked? So I keep this room temperature at 68 degrees at all times. The reason being is when I was earlier on, temperature does affect your yeast, and I had a couple of bottle bursts, so they popped the corks out because they warmed up a little bit. So I keep this at 68 degrees, and I watch it very closely just so because I have a lot of mead bottles now, just in case. But my stuff sits up to like 5-6 months racked before it's bottled. I don't think I've ever had anything sit longer than that. And then once I bottle it, I have like this stuff behind me is from 2016. Mm-mm. There's no such thing as way too much coffee. There's just enough. Once you hit just enough, then you can stop drinking coffee. Hello, welcome to the Old Cots Meadery. Thanks for joining me this wonderful, cool morning. December 5th. Trucking along, trying to get to April. That's my goal. Get to April. April's not only going to bring better weather for my preference, but I'm also going to be starting some new themes with my mead batches in April. I'm not going to give anything away. I did leak a little bit last night on the live, but if you missed it, you missed it. So yeah, come back. I have a brand new batch from Utah. It's probably a lot colder. Well, actually, Utah, I guess it depends on where in Utah, right? Utah's pretty big, whether it's cold or not. But yeah, brand new batch of mead every single Saturday. Yeah, Saber knows. He was here last night. 23 degrees. Yep. No, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Welcome to the Old Guys Meadery and the best community ever. If you want to make your own alcohol at home, I'm your guy. Nobody on the internet makes more mead batches than I do. Nobody. No. Well, some people make more batches. Nobody makes more recipes, though. I make the most amount of recipes that you'll ever see. Batch 145 comes out this coming Saturday. It is inspired by the Norse god Thor. 85 degrees. See, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. I want to be there. I'm currently in Maryland, where it's 34 degrees. And I hate it. I hate it. It's fine, like, once you get used to it. This part of the year, though, I hate. Like, in January, I'm not going to care anymore. I'm going to be like, this is life. Who cares? Put a scarf on, suck it up. But, like, December always sucks, because you're like, I remember it being warm. It was just a few weeks ago. And now it's not. And I hate it. I'll be fine in January. Just let me vent through December. So I'll be honest with you. I started a lot of this on the TikTok side. YouTube, I always categorize stuff on YouTube because at the time, TikTok you have to like earn some of the features by growth. YouTube was always standard, and I could archive stuff on YouTube, so I always had a YouTube, but I didn't put a lot of effort into it. So that's your answer. I plan to be hopefully soon. Hopefully. YouTube breaks down to watch hours, so I need more people to watch my Saturday videos on YouTube. That would really help out. So if you want to share on my Saturday videos, or just go to my video category on YouTube and hit play, like, you know, on a playlist, and just set your phone down, walk away from it, or put it on your TV, that'd be great. You'd see a larger version of me on your TV. Never tried mead? Well, you're in the right spot. I make it every single week. But especially with the unknown future of TikTok, like YouTube, I'm making more content specifically for YouTube these days than I ever have. So, so my suggestion, if you've never had it at all, in my profile, there's a Discord that my good buddy Scott created. It's just a plethora of meat information. There's behind the scene pictures, there's recipes, there's a yeast chart. Like if you want to make your own mead, it's a great place. There's also a commercial channel on there that has meads from all around the country that we've heard of, and meaderies that ship straight to your house. My favorite one is from a place called Linganore Wine Cellars. This bottle's like $15 before shipping. You can get it shipped straight to your house. This is a very just traditional standard mead. It's called Linganore. Winecellars.com. I'm not a